Alright, so today's unboxing is going to be an excellent redemption story. Let's get into this box. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Now on this channel, I talk comics. I show you my hauls, I give you overviews of the stuff that I buy, I show you each week what books are coming out. We really just have a good time every single day. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, then hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I post new videos. Now, today, you guys may have seen this video last week or not, but I did my February Omnibus haul, and one of the late comers to my February group of Omnis was that book behind me. It's the Wonder Woman by Gail Simone Omnibus. And I got that book off a Facebook group, and honestly, I've been having a lot of really good success buying Omnibus on Facebook for cover price or below, some of which are out of print. I heard this one went out of print for some kind of copyright issues, so it's a rare book. Now, every single experience that I've had in a Facebook group buying a book has been phenomenal. They've always been shipped well, they've always been packed well, never gotten any books with any damage until this Wonder Woman by Gail Simone Omnibus came in. I have to say, I got this in a Facebook group. This one isn't packed as well as others that I've gotten have been. There's a bunch of wrap, but there was no like padding to protect the book. This one's got a weird lean to it, I'll tell you that. That's not good. Maybe it just hasn't been stretched out properly. Basically, this whole little leaflet part is trying to come out on me. I don't know if there's an easy way to fix that. It's basically like coming unglued. Now, the seller of that book, really cool dude. Anyway, when I hit him up to let him know, hey, this book came a little bit damaged. It had like a weird lean to it when I was opening it up. And then I found out like the last cluster of pages was kind of detached from the spine. It hasn't fallen out. You can still read it, but it's just damaged in a way that makes me kind of leery to read it, too heavily. But all of that, it turns out, was an issue caused by the way UPS packed the book. Now, I want to address something. Right, so when you guys saw that book, some of you guys were in the comments being really mean toward the seller, even though I told you, hey, the seller's making it right. He's sending me a whole new book. We got a claim started with UPS. It's all good. I'm not upset. It's all good. It's almost like you guys don't watch my videos till the end, where I literally end the videos by saying, be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. So anyway, this channel, it's just a whackness-free zone, and that was whack. So anyway, shout out to the seller, Ty, who was like, look, I love your channel. I love your content. I don't want to see my name in a bad light. What can I do to make this right? And he literally sent me a picture of his bookshelf and said, you can pick any other omnibus on this shelf, and I will send it to you free of charge to make up for the damages to that Wonder Woman book. So this, like I said, is a tale of redemption. As you can see, this box is very sturdy. This is worlds different from the other box that came in because he packed it himself as opposed to letting UPS pack it for him. So yeah, this box is built like a tank. I can even see like packing materials kind of poking through. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch up the camera view. We're going to open this up together, and we're going to go ahead and see what's inside. Whew. All right, guys. So, by the way, pardon if you see a mess on the floor. I already told you guys on this channel, every day is unboxing day, and cleaning day is Sunday after I finish recording videos. So don't mind any boxes you see on the floor or whatever. Although I think it's pretty dark. I don't even think you're even going to notice. But just right off the bat, you guys can see this box is a tank. I'm trying to shake stuff. There's no room for anything to move around. So I'm very excited about what we've got in this box. So let's go ahead and cut this open. And yeah, I have to say, I was really disappointed in you guys' response to that video. I mean, I appreciate you like saying, hey man, that seller should have known better, whatever, but it's just not necessary. I'm trying to be a place to spread positivity, not negativity. And yeah. So right off the bat, we got a whole bunch of packing peanuts, and inside the packing peanuts, we got a whole bunch of bubble wrap. There's no way this book is going to end up damaged. I mean, there shouldn't be anyway. And this, my friends, this is how you pack a book. So, again, I'm going to be saying this all video long, but this is the reason that I do what I do, to kind of highlight some things in the community and how things go. But yeah, I probably should do some comparison shots so that you guys can see how it was packed with how the other book came packed and how this one is so different from that. But yeah, I'm gonna be saying this all video, but shout out to the seller, Ty, for just being a stand-up dude and you know what I'm saying, like making this right, making this a good experience, even like turning around this negative situation for the positive. Like, I'm all about that. I'm trying to reposition this stuff so you guys can still have a good view. All right, let's focus in. All right, so this is why I only clean 1 day a week, because the more packages you open, the more you realize there's going to be random stuff in here that you have no control over, and it's going to get on your floor. You're going to be mad if you unbox stuff, clean, and then unbox again. So I do all my unboxings at one time, and then I clean. So right off the bat, we've got a bunch of bubble wrap. I'm trying to figure out where it's taped so that we have a good idea, or a better idea, of where we should open the box. So, and there's more tape. Boom. All right. Sheesh. What's really cool is this book that's inside here is a brand new omnibus. If I'm not mistaken, it's still sealed. And you guys can already see it through the bubble wrap at this point. Whew. All right. So here we go. This is the Green Lantern by Geoff Johns Omnibus Volume 1. Now, I know the homie Keith is looking at this like, what? A Green Lantern book? I know he's excited. He's a huge Green Lantern fan. And one of the first, actually the first retro review I ever did on this channel was of Green Lantern Rebirth, which was a story that helped me appreciate Hal Jordan, even if it didn't make me like a real fan. But this is the first of 3 volumes of Green Lantern by Geoff Johns. Honestly, I'm probably going to end up buying all 3 because it's going to be weird seeing volume 1 and not the other 2. So I'm going to end up grabbing the other 2 while they're still cheap on Amazon. But let's take a look at what this collects. So, all right. So I got to put on my narrator voice. Witness the rebirth of the Corps. For nearly 10 years, Geoff Johns was the primary architect of the Green Lantern universe. He created a vibrant world that elegantly built upon and streamlined decades of Green Lantern mythology, earning both critical and commercial success. From the return of Hal Jordan to the introduction of the other Lantern Corps, Johns' run turned the established canon on its head and forever changed the direction of the Green Lantern books. This legendary Green Lantern run begins here, with art by such talented artists as Carlos Pacheco, Ethan Van Sciver, Ivan Rice, Dave Gibbons, Pat Gleason, Simone Bianchi, and Darwin Cook. Very cool. So it says this first volume in a series of omnibus hardcovers collects Green Lantern Rebirth 1 through 6, Green Lantern Corps Recharge 1 through 5, Green Lantern 1 through 25, Green Lantern Corps 14 through 18, Tales of the Sinestro Corps Superman Prime #1, Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Special #1, Green Lantern Secret Files 2005 #1, and Green Lantern / Sinestro Corps Secret Files #1. That's a lot of issues. That is a lot packed in this little book. Well, honestly, that's not a little book. This book is like almost just as big as that Death of Superman omnibus we just did. But it's got a cover price of $125. I paid nothing for this. So if I add this up, I paid 90. Well, actually, I ended up paying 70 because he partially refunded. So I paid $70 for this Wonder Woman Omnibus, and I got the Green Lantern Omnibus for free. So I paid $35 technically for this. And I mean, that is a steal if I've ever seen one. So damage or no damage, this, I mean, Ty really he went out of his way to make sure that I had a good experience, and I would honestly buy from him again. So again, shout out to you, Ty, for all that. Now let us crack this book open, and I'll give you a quick overview of the art. All right, this thing is massive. This thing is huge. So, like I said, looking at that dust jacket, let's go ahead and take this off. All right, so just looking at the dust flaps, or the French flaps, the greatest Green Lantern of them all is back. Hal Jordan's been resurrected and redeemed. Now it's time to get on with his life as Green Lantern, protector of Sector 2814. So very cool. We all know that, you know, my favorite Green Lantern is John Stewart, but that's besides the point. We got a bio on Geoff Johns, and just looking at the back, I love the spine for this book. And this, that image from Green Lantern Rebirth, I've seen that a few times. That was the cover of the trade paperback. I even like this painted artwork here. I don't know who does this cover. I would assume it's Alex Ross, but that could be rude to some other guy who does painted artwork. And it's like, hey, I'm not Alex Ross. But anyway, very cool. I love this with the ring finger. Like, yeah, look at this. So very dope. Honestly, I want to complete the set just because I know these look great side by side. But anyway, that's the dust jacket. Let's take a look at this hardcover. So, boom. This is the same as the Green Lantern Rebirth Deluxe Edition hardcover. So that's really cool. So that's your front, and then here's your back. If this book is nothing else, it's clearly a celebration of Hal Jordan. And then there's that spine. So I like this. I like it a lot. This looks really good. So let's go ahead and stretch out this spine. Let's lay out some pages here and see how the binding is. So what's cool is Green Lantern Rebirth is collected in this, which means that trade paperback that I have, I don't need anymore. So somebody's going to end up with it in the K Squad. So shout out to you guys. You guys definitely get the spoils of my victories. But yeah, so I'm stretching out the spine. This is really a light stretching job. And I already explained this in the Death of Superman video, but you always want to do this so that the glue on your spines doesn't harden and you're not just like, because if you start out just with what you're reading, you're going to put stress on your spine in ways that are just unnecessary, to be honest with you. So to remedy that, you stretch the spine out a few times before you actually start reading so that your book is distributing that stress evenly across the whole ribbon, and you don't get a snap later on and all of a sudden you got this block of pages that's like just difficult to read. So that's why you do it. I've never experienced the damage. I haven't been in the omnibus game long enough to see it, but I've seen other people go through it on YouTube. So I mean, there's stretching the spine, but then you also kind of want to flex your pages as well. And I'll go ahead and say off the bat, I can see the binding in this book is actually pretty good. DC is all over the place, man. Like, I've seen really, really good binding on DC Omnis, and I've seen really, really bad binding on DC Omnis. I don't know what their deal is, man. Oh, is that Cyborg Superman back again? Interesting. So as far as omnibus go, you guys know I love omnibus editions because I just love being able to learn so much about a character at one time and see so much of like one run. You know, it's really dope. So this is clearly, we got a bunch of people here. We got Alan Scott, Green Lantern. So just off the first stretching, look at that eye. That is what you like to see. My bad, the camera stopped again. But yeah, so you normally see this like kind of eye with Marvel books, but I'm not mad at this at all. I wish every DC omnibus came like this instead of the bear traps that they give us. But hey, what can you do? So there we go. Title page. We got a whole core here. There's my man, John Stewart. You got Kilowog. So Kyle Rayner's there, Guy Gardner's there, everybody's there. Very dope. All right, so that's it. we got a title page, we got some credits, and we're straight into this book. We're not getting into a table of contents. There's not even a cover. There's not even a cover for Green Lantern Rebirth. But I know this is Green Lantern Rebirth issue number 1 because I've seen it before. So yeah, I don't see any page numbers. So I guess we're just going to read the entire run. That's how that's going to have to go. Because there's no way to know. Let's see. So I know Green Lantern Rebirth was a 6-issue mini. All right, well, here we go. Okay, so that was, I guess this is, I don't know which issue this is. We get a cover and we get an issue title. So at least there's a cover there. But man, like, I would love page numbers and a table of contents. I feel like that's not too much to ask. So here we go. Here's another one. I believe this is like the last issue of Green Lantern Rebirth right here. And it's just called Rings. One thing I will say, that man Ethan Van Sciver, I don't agree with that man on a lot of stuff, but he can draw. Can definitely draw. I loved Green Lantern Rebirth because I loved how Hal Jordan was like just standing up to Batman. Hal Jordan did, and so did John Stewart in that book. So that's very cool. And now we got Green Lantern Flight. Art by John Stewart. Darwin Cook, the late Darwin Cook. I didn't get to read or see any of his work while he was still alive to really appreciate it, but I love his style. It's so reminiscent of like the animated series versions of Batman and Justice League. I still got to get that New Frontier trade because I really do like Darwin Cook artwork. But anyway, so this run is huge. And this book is huge. I mean, this is volume 1 of 3. And all 3 appear to be just as big and thick as this one was. So, let me turn this up a little bit. I'm trying to find the right balance between like just brightening stuff up and then like blinding you guys so you can't even see what's on the page. But here we go. Let's keep looking. So we got Pat Gleason on pencils for this issue. I really wish like at the very least, we got trade dresses on these covers so we can see what issue number we're reading each time. But it is what it is. That's not going to happen. So let's stop crying over spilled milk. So, boom, boom. Let's skip around. Because one thing I will say, when it comes to Omnibus and like recommendations, I have seen so many people. I've seen so many people's collections here on YouTube, and this Green Lantern set seems to be a staple in every collection. And I've heard that if you're not a Green Lantern fan, you absolutely will be after you read this. So it's pretty much staying open. That's cool. So yeah, I'm excited to have this, and I'm excited that I didn't have to pay for it, because I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise. Because, you know, Hal Jordan, he's a Green Lantern, and Green Lanterns, they fight space threats and sci-fi stuff and blah, blah, blah. Now, what I'm wondering is how much of this ended up being in that Green Lantern movie starring Ryan Reynolds. My wife loves that movie. I'll tell you that. She's watched it like a million times. So I've seen it several times, and I remember recognizing some of the stuff from that movie in Green Lantern Rebirth. So I wonder how much of like all of this run made its way into that movie. We got Oliver Queen. I do know that Green Lantern and Green Arrow are just the best of friends. Got Darkseid there. So very cool stuff with Green Lantern and, a lot of these books, honestly. They're sci-fi books. And so with sci-fi, you have to be patient with the world building. And really, I love that cover. That cover is dope. I like that. But with sci-fi, you've got to be patient for the with the world building. And if you pay attention throughout the world building, it doesn't feel like as out there anymore. Because, fiction, yeah, it's fiction, but I mean, what do you have to draw on when you're writing except your own experiences in real life? So there's always going to be parallels. There's always going to be callbacks to things that we know about from real life in works of fiction. So sci-fi can be accessible. I just think for me, I am more of a street level guy. I don't always like to have to put so much energy into what I'm reading. I kind of want the story to be right there. That's part of the reason I chose comics as a medium. I don't want to have to imagine the worlds. Just draw them for me so I can look at your world and see what you've created. I love this cyborg Superman. We got Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan in his little reflection. That's really dope. But yeah, so that's how I feel about sci-fi in general, and that's why it can be difficult for me to get into the Green Lanterns. But I've been reading Far Sector, and that's kind of the lesson I learned from Far Sector. There's a lot of world building. There's a lot of terms and stuff that you have to kind of learn. There's a lot you have to understand about each different species. But once you understand it, once you read it and kind of internalize that information, then all of a sudden you can appreciate the story for what it is. So that's really cool. That's really cool. But I mean, as a grown man with a full-time job, a wife, and a child, coming up on 2 kids actually, it can be difficult for me to put that mental energy into comic books. I just want to escape and read a cool story really quickly, before I go to bed or before I go to work or whatever. So that's my hang up with sci-fi. But as we can see, there's really great artwork. This is a cover by Ivan Reyes. This leg, that's an interesting looking leg. She looks like an alien. Well, I guess maybe she is an alien, and maybe that's what she's supposed to. So yeah, honestly, there's a bunch of different artists in this book, but I have not seen a page yet that I didn't like. So that's very cool. I like that cover too. But yeah, so I want to know from you guys, if you've read this run, I want to know why you believe it is so great. I know that this run introduces like the color spectrum and all the reasons why the different colors mean different things or represent different emotions. So I know that's a big part of this run. But I just need to know from you guys who have the experience. So Keith, feel free to let us know in the comments, what makes this run great? Why is this different from past Green Lantern runs? And what is it that the new Green Lantern books should learn from this run and try to aspire to be like? That's what I need to know, because I think that's important. But like I said, this artwork is great. I have not seen a page yet that I didn't like. Look at the parallax, man. That's crazy. But yeah, I read Green Lantern Rebirth, and I did... Wait, is that a page number? What? Yo, that is so random. There's a page number right here. On page 861 is the first time I noticed one. I'm sure there were some other places, but that's the first one I saw. If I see another page number, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, well, Kyle Rayner's looking crazy. But yeah, I need to know what's so great about this run. And it's not to say that it's not great. I just, for the uninitiated, inquiring minds, want to know. But yeah, I've heard so many great things about this Green Lantern run. And if Geoff Johns' Green Lantern isn't going to get it for me as much as everyone praises it, then Green Lantern is not the dude for me. Oh, here's another page number. Yep, 943. That's the next page number I've seen. Oh, and this whole cluster's got page numbers. Interesting. Oh, 951's got a page number and the rest of them don't. But it doesn't even matter that there are page numbers on some of these because there's no table of contents. So it doesn't matter that I know what page I'm on if I don't know what page I need to be on. But yeah, so clearly this is just meant to be read straight through. Geoff Johns said, forget you trying to read one issue out of this. You're going to read the whole thing because I said so. But yeah, I feel like I keep saying this, but this artwork is great. It just never takes a step down. I don't see one like lazy day on artwork. There's Superboy Prime. Batman, Superman. Very cool. What? Kyle Rayner with the Sinestro Corps? I guess now I'm spoiling things. But Kilowog's there. I know a lot of people like to skip pages toward the end of books. Oh, there's Firestorm. They like to skip pages toward the ends of books, like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything. But I'm like, if I'm not reading the story, these out of context images aren't really doing much for me. And by the time I actually get to this point in the book, am I really going to remember it? Chances are I'm not. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. So this takes us all the way up to the Sinestro Corps War, which I don't know anything about. I've heard people reference it before, so there we go. Oh, there we go. There's the rest of the Corps. So yeah, okay. Hal Jordan returned in Green Lantern Rebirth. The Corps faced the ultimate fear in Sinestro Corps. They will descend upon our worlds to claim what we have lost. They will forever hunger for those who still feel and love. And if the universe is to survive, willpower and fear must come together before, across the universe. Oh, I don't know how far we got before it stopped recording, but here we are at the end of the book with Sinestro Corps Secret Files. Clearly the end of this is previewing Blackest Night, which I've never read, but whatever. So Sinestro Corps Secret Files, we're getting intros. It's like the official handbook to the Green Lantern universe is what this looks like. Getting explanations of the power rings and the Corps and all these different members, what makes them great. I'm probably going to read this before I read the Omnibus. I feel like that's just going to be super helpful for me to understand the story. So I'm glad that's in there. And this, wow, there's a lot to know about here. Sheesh. And there we go. Oh, Fallen Lanterns. So yeah, it's just a whole little reference guide to exactly what all's going on here. Now we got the Sinestro Corps. Cool. So now we got a cover gallery. I love these covers. Batman here. Very cool. Now we got some unused covers. We got character designs, turnarounds, and of course we got ads for the rest of the stuff coming up. And that's the end of the Omnibus. So yeah, this book overall, I'm excited about it. Excited to have it in the collection. And there we go. That is Green Lantern by Geoff Johns, Volume 1. So, hope you enjoyed this unboxing and overview. I sure did. Once again, I'm going to shout out to the homie Ty for selling me this book, for selling me the Wonder Woman book, and for going the extra mile to make sure that all my concerns were addressed when the book arrived in, less than perfect condition. I'm still going to read Wonder Woman. I'm still going to read this, and I'm excited to have these books. So I hope you saw something you liked in this video, and if not, hey, that's cool, because you can always buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy, and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.